Okay, so aim of this video is to create, manage and maintain multi-row dependent drop-downs in Google Sheet. I'm basically an MS Excel guy, and this would be my first project on Google Sheet, so please excuse me for my noob ideas that I might be using on this one, and I'm really looking forward to a suggestion or a better way to achieve what I'm trying to do here. So I have three main categories as of now. I'll say Power BI, Excel and Salesforce, and under each of these main categories I have several subcategory values, and I need to be able to update this list or this category list, and still everything should work out. And if I change Excel here from Power BI, this subcategory drop down should also get updated with the related subcategories of this main category of Excel, and so on. And at the same time I would want to have as many rows here going downwards with these drop down setup that we have. I already have created multiple drop down options here, and I'll just walk you through how to do that. So in this case, as of now, I'm considering three main categories, which are Excel, Power BI and Salesforce. And for each of these you can manage your subcategories on their respective sheets, and again you can arrange it in one sheet, or you can have different sheets. The need for this particular project was to have different sheets, so I have it like that. So for each of the subcategories that you have, you can select those subcategories and define a name for this particular range. So you can do that by right clicking. First select those cells which you want to include in your range, and right click on the cells. You will get this option of define named range. When you click that, you will see that a new pop-up comes up on the right hand side, and you have the option to give it a name, and you have the option to select the range for which you want to give this name. So I already have created my ranges, named ranges here. I have as you can see Excel large range. So for Excel I have taken only A2 to A7, and for Excel large range I have taken A2 to A34. So if I go to this range, you will see that A2 to 34 is my Excel large range. If I select this, that particular thing will be selected. If I select Excel, that particular range will be selected. So why I took Excel A2 to A34 as Excel large ranges, I have included lot many additional rows in this, and as and when you include one item within these many rows, they will appear in the drop down. They will be a part of the named range. That's the advantage. Similarly, you can create the subcategory named range for the other ones as well, Power BI, Salesforce. Once you have that, you can come here and you have this category set up as Excel, Power BI, Salesforce, and new value is what I was testing with. If you want to include a new value here as a main category, you can do that by going to data validation, and you can add a new value here that will be included. For subcategory, how it works is it is taking the drop down references from here, which is being again driven by a formula. So formula is very simple, pretty basic one. We are using a combination of if and indirect. Indirect is the main formula that brings up the drop down values from a given named range: Excel large range, Power BI, Salesforce, etc. So the formula says that if A2 is Excel, give me the drop down values of this range, Excel large range. Indirect is the formula. If A2 is Power BI, give me the drop down values from Power BI. If it is Salesforce, then give it from Salesforce, etc. And then once you have this, you will rename it again as drop down 1 here. So I have already created drop down 1. If I click on this, it selects the range, and after that I'll go here and click on data validation, and I'll put the range name here, list from a range, and then we have the range name. Click on save, and then that comes up here. Now one thing that I did not really like about Google Sheets is you do not really have an option to use the indirect formula directly in the data validation option. In MS Excel we have this option to use indirect formula and then I would use the range name, and then that would work directly. But since we do not have that here, or I'm not aware of that function, even though I looked for it on Google a lot many times. So for each of the rows that you have here, for each of the subcategory drop downs that you want to get populated, you'll have to create a drop down name range for that particular row. So I have set it up diagonal going down one row below, which is exactly against the row that you're looking for. So A3, this will be A4, and so on. I have deleted these values, so that's why it's reference error. I can delete these, and then the benefit is I simply have to copy this and paste it here, and you would see that the formula is getting updated and referencing to the correct cell. I can do it for as many drop downs, and let's say if I added a new row here, or if I need to add a new row, I just have to go to that cell, copy these two from top, paste it here, and then we are good, or whichever place that goes to after going for these many rows. When you have a new value to add, you can, as I mentioned earlier, you can simply add a new item 2 here or 1, and that would be done. If you go here and select Excel, you'll see that okay, let's add one drop down to here, data validation. I'll go and add drop down to, click on save, and then you'll see that everything appears in this one. If I make it Salesforce, this would change to Salesforce options that we have. So that's about it. Just let me know if you have any questions on this one. It should be pretty easy to follow, but I'd be happy to answer any questions. Thank you.